way here. So this is September 9th of 2023, the day before the 6-year anniversary for me. As you can see, we've had this weird thing, like a bowling ball type thing with wings coming out here. And we'll go through this frame by frame, but watch this down here. And actually, I'll pull it up a little bit more, and let's zoom in on it. Hello, folks in the chat. Yeah, did you see that thing? And it looks like those aren't, how do I say this? It looks like these wings, like the wake or whatever, it looks like part of it is part of this craft. Like it's a horned type craft. I don't know. We'll go through it, look at it right there. Okay, and then let's freeze frame it, and we'll zoom in on it. Okay, that right there is, alright, you can see it coming out. You can see these little wings that it has on it, or what I thought was, like the wake coming off of it, but as it proceeds to go by, it appears that this is part of the structure of some kind of craft, because it maintains its shape. Okay, well, let's go backwards through this real quick. And right here, this is the image I used on the thumbnail, but I want to zoom into this and show you something. Let's just get as far in as we can. Oh, I almost slide it over too much. Come back here. It has a hexagonal type shape to it. There's an angle, a flat side, a flat side, a flat side, a bottom, comes up, goes like this. So this thing has a hexagonal shape to it. And of course it has this eye looking. And this is today, September 9th. This has been like the fourth in a series of what appears to be signs coming off the sun. And that's not all, because let's see if I can tap in just nope, that's as far in as I can go. There's a small little face inside this thing. There are 2 eyes, a nose, and a little mouth right here. So this appears to be some kind of I don't know, entity, or you be the judge of that. But it looks like another eye-shaped thing. Oh, speaking of which, it was clear yesterday, so there were no clouds. But today, I just heard this, hey, let's go outside. So I went outside and I looked up, and here's this eye-shaped thing in the clouds staring at me. And I knew if I grabbed my camera and tried to snap some pictures, it would just drain my camera. So, or drain my phone. So, and then it dissipates too really fast. So instead of snapping some pictures, I just kind of stared at it. But the eye-shaped thing from the other day here, whoops, I'm too zoomed in on this. This showed up in the clouds today. Okay, so we got this eye-looking thing, and then we got today's eye-looking thing or whatever, okay? And let's see if we can just put this back into motion here. Whoops, where's the bar? Oops, reverse. No. Come back here. Hang on here. I'm trying to get it right. Okay, so that's what came off the sun today. And then I also want to go back and revisit what happened yesterday, because yesterday's event was a little off the hook. Alright, so I need to zoom back out of this. One more. There we go. So that was today. Now, yeah, here's yesterday's event with this cross type shape in the what appears to be a crucifix here in the caught in the solar. See me here. And what I'm talking about is this cross shape right here with what appears to be a head and arms reaching up and a body going down. And let's zoom into that just a little bit better. Okay, there we go. So we had this happen yesterday. We had this a couple days before. Then this. And now we have this eye type looking thing going on down here. And there was also something else I want to point out. Let's see if we can, whoops, I zoom a little bit more. Sorry about all the zooming in and out. I gotta do it just to find the frame. Okay. Alright, see this frame? This object streaking through? We get to see the very front of it. It's not like going, you know, across the corner where we don't get to see the very beginning of it. So let's zoom in on it. And something else I want you to take note of. Wait, before I zoom in here too much. Alright. Notice where this thing is at. It's almost like an arrow pointing to the same place right here. The same place right here. See? And compared to the cross, it's pointing right where that cross was. And this was it within the period, same 24-hour period. Even though it's the next day, it was still within 24 hours. So we've had this thing, which looks like it looks like a pointer just pointing at what was just there. But we'll zoom in on it. The black and white side doesn't do it justice, so we come over here and let's see how much further I can go ahead. There we go. And you can see that it's some kind of craft or whatever that's leaving this ionized streak back behind it. Okay, and it's pointing right to where that cross was on the previous screen. Whoops. Too zoomed in. Okay, but it's pointing right to where that cross was, right to where that event happened yesterday. So let's back out of this again. Okay. And this was today, so we have this streaking right through where the event went, looking like an arrow pointing at it. We also had this weird bowling ball type looking shape thing come out the bottom here. Looks like it had wings on it or whatever. So, whoops, let's reverse this. Whoops. Alright, oh, also we had that weird little U-shaped craft. It was pointing the other direction than this one come out also the other day. So, a lot of strange activity going on in the sun. Faces, what look like faces on this sphere right here. If you come over and look at it yourself, you'll see it looks like a bowling ball with 2 eyes, a nose, and horns. Anyways, weird stuff coming off the sun. And like I said, I saw. Well, I was expecting to see this like 2 days ago. This eye right here, possibly see it in the clouds. And there haven't been any clouds around my area. And today I saw this eye in the clouds, and then uh, the cloud formation stuck there for most of the day. The eye changed different things, but then that cloud formation ended up being a nocturnal thunderstorm that is still striking lightning, and that's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, so that's pretty late for a nocturnal thunderstorm. But it was right where this eye showed up in the clouds, so I believe that there's something nearby and watching. Okay, so that little quadrant right there is the same quadrant where this cross shows up. Is the same quadrant where that thing was streaking through there. I'm pointing at it right here. It'll come back around. There it comes. This white streak right there, see? And it was pointing basically at the same area as where that cross was. So, let's move on to this now. We got, here, I'll zoom in just a tad bit tighter for you there. I saw Planet X News put out a video. Everybody go over there and watch his video and give him a little thumbs up and a like. So here's our little event here. We have this blackout period or whatever, but look how smooth it comes through here when we had all that activity. Okay, and then here's our latest event. That's going into the next day, so we haven't even seen this event. These 2 spikes right here are on tomorrow's satellite, so we won't see this until tomorrow. But here's your event right here where we had this eye type thing come out. Here's yesterday where we had this crucifixion event, okay? And it doesn't look like a lot of, major activity, but we could see better that something else was going on during this time period. Also correlates with the earthquake that we had, okay, over in Africa. It's ended up being quite a disaster. I want to go over here to the tracker and see if they have a new updated tracker. Yeah, they're just showing this one still going off the backside and heading away from us, which is good. We don't need to be absorbing any more energy. The core shell gap is like really close, so we got to be careful how much energy we intake here. Is this 175? Yeah, it is. Alright, Schumann's looking pretty quiet. You can see we have a nice solid green line right here, so the magnetosphere is pumping along pretty good. Not much to look at. There was a small screeching event, but I believe... No, that was on there from yesterday. Okay, let's come on over to our quakes. Alright, guess who? Who? Me? Guess who I am? That's gonna be a shocker. So we had this big quake over here today. Let's take a peek at this. This is the 6.0 at a depth of 9.9, basically a 10. That's a surface quake, but it's right here. Whoops. It's right here where we had this big deep quake. We had a big deep quake right here the other day, so this is residual energy probably burning off from it, scrubbing energy off. So 6.0 right there probably didn't do too much damage, but shook them pretty well. Little energy here. I'm still worried about this island of Java. It's still purple and spewing a lot of sulfur dioxide. You can see our quakes creeped up here to the fulcrum point. Not too big a deal. Just everything kind of going up through the system. Let's zoom in here real quick. We'll take a peek at our deep quake for the day. Alright, right here, this is our 4.5 at a depth of 555. So we did have a deep quake today at a magnitude 4.5. It'll send, 5 energy, at the surface. Probably 5 type energy into the system. There's 4.9 right there at a depth of 201, so that registers as a 5 at a surface. Probably help shake this one loose. What's this? Another 4.9, so there's that 5 energy right there. Boom, boom, boom. Even crept up here. 4.6 and a 4.8. So everything kind of going along as it should. Made it past this little kink in the hose with a 4.8 there. We still have these quakes down here at this three-way intersection on the Cocos plate. So let's please have these ones, Lord. There we go. A 4.6 at a depth of 10 and a 4.7. So we've had 2 mid-range 4s right here. Again on this this apex point where we have this three-way junction of the plates. So it's relieving energy, but it is a little stress point, and you can see it reacting here, and that's moderate energy. It's good. It's even coming over here to the side. There's 4.5, 4.5 there, and another 4.5 there. So it seems to be doing its job and relieving energy. There's nothing big and nothing big going on there. That's what's okay. That's relieving pressure sometimes. Here's a new quake, a 4.4, depth of 63. Yeah, they're having a little bit of quake activity along this area, but they're all mid-range 4s. Okay, another quake over here in Africa. Let's take a peek at this. All right, now this is in a different area than yesterday's quake. This is more towards the equator. This is a 4.6 at a depth of 10. Just kind of peeking around here, see if there's any topographical. Mike talks about water coming up from underneath Africa, and if you look here, here's this body of water that's not too far from the coast. So if there's going to be saltwater intrusion and inundation, it would probably be around in this area, and it could be shuffling stuff loose underneath the ground, causing a little 4.6 or something here. So see this arc of water, this lake right here, this almost like a little boundary. There's water close to the surface right here. You could probably dig down 10 feet anywhere in this area and hit water, because there's this inland lake and the ocean right there, and all this area is waterlogged. The sand underneath is waterlogged, right? So that could make this a weak zone right here. And if you go down in the earth just a little bit underneath this weak zone, you'd have this, right down underneath this little boundary area. Let me back out. See this curved little section of lakes right here? This little wall. It's almost like a water wall of little lakes and everything. So this is our slough zone right in here, and here's a little quake. Probably stuff, inundating underneath here and breaking stuff loose, causing stuff right at the surface. 4.6 in Africa. Okay. Alright, not much more on the quake report here. Let's come over to the forecast. The part you've all been waiting for. And yes. Cool, it did reload. I went to go play this a little while ago and all the data disappeared. So we'll let that loop please run. There we go. It's got to load up first, so Here's this one coming in. Lee striking the coast right there and then going buzzsawing right up the East Coast. I know it's still a couple days away or whatever, but that's what this GFS model is. There goes Lee right there. What was that other one? That's two separate storms. Yeah, look at this one. That's September 23rd, 24th, and 25th time frame right there that showed. Okay, let's stop here, back up just a couple frames, and we'll start off with current conditions right here. This is September 9th, midnight time, the overnight hours. The morning of the 10th, we have energy coming in on the 10th, so this thunderstorm area might be a little more intense. That's in the morning. There's noon time. There's the end of convection, so these pop-up thunderstorms here, I'd watch carefully because we have more inbound energy to add to this model. So that's the end of convection. It even blossoms harder overnight into the nighttime hours of September 10th. And we're talking the panhandle of Oklahoma, the top of Texas, down into the middle here. This whole area would be on high alert for your weather intensifying from more than this model is showing. So that's the overnight hours of the 10th. There's the morning of the 11th, noontime the 11th, the end of convection on the 11th. September 11 is when we have the that crucifix event. If it takes 3 days for it to get here, that would be arriving on 9/11. So, how ironic would that be? Anyways, this is the weather for 5 p.m., the end of convection on September 11th. So watch out here again in Oklahoma and Texas area. Again, same spot. And we have this storm brewing here, but this is the one that seems to dodge everybody. So now we go into the overnight hours of the 11th. It blossoms harder into central Texas. So watch out September 11th in the midnight hours in Texas. Now we're going into the morning of the 12th. There's the noon of the 12th, the end of convection the 12th. Look how this big low has wrapped up now. We still have inbound energy coming that'll add to this as well, and add to this as well. This still might head out, but it could make this storm stronger as well. So back here as well, I'd watch that. Then as we go into the nighttime hours there, the 12th, it blossoms a little more here in Texas. Then we go the morning of the 13th, noontime the 13th, the end of convection the 13th. We have this line going up through here, up into Maine and northern New Hampshire and Massachusetts down that way and stuff. Reaching back into here, we got pop-ups. So this is the end of convection, September 13th. Then it does blossom again here overnight into Texas again. So nighttime activity for 3 nights in a row here in northern Texas. Then we go, that's the morning hours of the 14th, noontime the 14th here again with Texas. That's the end of convection right there. So it's intense during the morning and the noontime, and then maybe burns off by the end of convection. We got some residual back here. Then this is the nighttime of the 14th. It blossoms again here in central Texas, back up and through here. And all these days are probably going to have added energy to them. So 5 a.m. This is the morning of the 15th, noon the 15th, the end of convection the 15th. Overnight, the morning of the 16th, just here on the border. Noontime the 16th, there's the end of convection 16th, nice and clear probably that day for most of the country. The overnight hours, the morning of the 17th, noontime, convection here. We got some activity convecting here in Mississippi. Mississippi, Florida Panhandle there. Not too much more. Something else going up here by Canada, but this is a little further out, so it's not as accurate. It'll be the nighttime of the 17th, morning of the 18th, noon time of the 18th, and the end of convection the 18th. Going overnight into the 19th, morning of the 19th, noon, end of convection 19th. Overnight into the 20th, there's a morning of the 20th, noontime. The end of convection the 20th, they're calling for little pop-ups back in here. All this depends on more solar activity, what happens in between now and then. So this isn't as accurate, but I want to see what they're calling for this storm right here. So we're just going to click through this and watch this storm come up. It really approaches North and South Carolina there on the morning of the 23rd. Here it makes landfall noontime the 23rd. Pushes in. This is the end of convection right here on the 23rd. So this thing will be strengthening most of the day as it approaches, and then it will hit the land full force at the end of convection. Not good. Boom, like a buzzsaw, it just goes right in there at nighttime. Still, that's the early morning hours of the September 24th. That's noon the 24th. I mean, oh boy. Which one was it? It's 150. I was trying to zoom in a little more for you guys so you can see a little bit closer. Why is that not working? Well, there was one setting where it used to work. Oh well. Anyways, here you got it just hitting Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, just Virginia, just impacting this area majorly hard on September 24th, noontime. Whoop. Oh, delayed reaction, huh? Well, I would like to go back to this map now, please. Oh. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Get back up to that date. So that one goes up and hits Maine. Then the secondary one, we'll have to learn more about this one. Alright, now, let me get this. Boom, boom, boom. So here's the first kind of impacts, or morning of the 23rd, noon the 23rd, hitting North Carolina, Virginia area. The end of convection on the 23rd right there looks ugly. This thing is wrapped up nice and tight. It's going to be a pretty hardcore hurricane probably. It'll slam in right about there at nighttime of the 23rd into the morning hours of the 24th. So making landfall at night, hella dangerous. There's the noontime of the 24th. The end of convection the 24th, so this thing could strengthen again as it buzzes up. It's still over the ocean picking up warm water plus the inbound energy and convection. This thing is going to double punch. Let's back up to the other convection right there. That one's going to be a big blossom effect right there. Then it's going to lay into the land at night, pick up strength during the day, and then just buzzsaw that whole region right there. On the 24th, that's the morning of the 25th. Sorry about that. Noon of the 26th, or 25th. into convection here again, it'd probably strengthen some more because it's still over water a little bit, rotating stuff back in here. This is going to be a really big, heavy rain event. Lots of flooding. Lots of flooding in this one. So if that continues to be the trajectory for this storm, all right, let me put this back into motion here. So yeah, this is the storm Lee. Comes up, but apparently just barely clips the tip of Maine. Mainly hits Nova Scotia. Then later on in the week, we have this one, whatever this one's going to be called, looking really nasty, coming up and just buzz on the whole East Coast, the capital. Oh man, we'll keep an eye on this as we get closer to it. Not Lee, but the second one there. All right. What was I going to show you over here at Null School? I had something pulled up. Oh, there's the southern polar vortex just still going crazy. And look at our vortex. It's all going wonky, kind of going the wrong way. Well, actually, this is going back the right way again. So, what was it I was going to show you on this one? Yeah, the SO2. I'll take the winds off here. Alright, just a kind of little update on our SO2. You can still see that it's pushing up through the cracks in the surface, all through the East Coast and everything, up in here, up into Canada, causing these fires and stuff up in there. Come over here, you see China's got a bad problem right here. They got lots of this coming up through the ground. Same with India. It actually paints out the whole country of India, almost perfect to a T. How crazy is that? And with China, everywhere except the Gobi Desert here in China. Same with Saudi Arabia. Even Europe's got it. We'll go down here. Check out South America. It's still got this band all the way down. And the darker it is, the more intense the plumes are. These are all individual sites. Some more intense than others. You can see how dark intense this one is on the fulcrum point right there. That's where there's probably a crack in the surface, a good size fissure or perforation here, and it's allowing more gas out at that area. Alright, now on to this. Tonight's gem. We'll go back and rehash something that we haven't covered in a little while. And I'll put this video on for you and have a quick cigarette and then come say goodbye. Get this. Please let this work. Alright, come on. Wind up and go. Working just a minute ago.
To report on today, and that's good because I had a revelation last night, and what I'm about to show you is going to knock your socks off. So, a couple of days ago, I was doing a video on...
Come on now. My wonky technology here. Come on, play this, please. Come on. Play it.
On the sun to report on today, and that's good because I had a revelation last night, and what I'm about to show you is going to knock your socks off. So, a couple of days ago I was doing a video on these kind of craft exiting the sun, which looked like it was being towed out from behind the sun or something, and I did a video on that one, and that's this one right here, and it looked like it was this actual model being pulled out from behind the sun. So I did a stream yesterday, and I was looking for a thumbnail for it, and I couldn't match up any pictures, wouldn't match up. And it wasn't until I started digging deeper into my pictures and I pulled up this one right here that I used as a thumbnail on my latest stream. That's when it occurred to me, this thing sitting next to this one, they're the same object. It's the same thing. Whoever made this craft right here is here now, and what I thought was a man standing on the plane before is actually one of the vertical stabilizers that comes out at an angle, kind of like an F-18's vertical stabilizers. They're not straight up and down vertically, they come out at an angle. Well, much like that, so do these ones right here. And what I thought was a man standing up is this vertical stabilizer right here.
Come back here. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so now back to this one. When I was looking at this a long time ago, I was looking at this weird kind of grasshopper type looking head, almost like a snub-nosed dragon with a mouth right here, you know, a blunt, shortened nose, 2 eyes. And this would be the head, kind of looking this way. Okay. So again, the eyes, the snout, kind of a snub-nosed one with the curls back around with the mouth here. Okay. And I was just kind of baffled at what a weird nose that actually looks like a creature or something like that.
This is a real cloud, you guys, okay? This is the stuff that follows me everywhere. This ancient race, here, where are they? Whoever built this advanced race from 1,000 years ago that had the technology to fly is now back and here in the clouds. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish playing.
Or something like that. Okay, now in this image, this is of a different model. It has 4 wings, and you see a longer snout on it, divided down the middle with a little ridge with 2 eyes right there. Sorry, my arms are shaky. And what looks like a collar around it, and then the rest of the body, right? So we're looking at this one, and it has a longer snout, and you can make out the teeth a little bit more on the side. Now, there's another one with another version. Let me show you. Okay, this is the original one that we were looking at, and here it is with the shorter snout, snub-nosed a little bit, with an eye up here and an eye or whatever right here, and this ridge coming over and coming down, these defined swept wings, this weird vertical stabilizer, and the tail. All of those match exactly to this one right here. So now we...
Okay, I want to take a little poll of the people in the chat or who are still watching right now. What do you think? Don't you think that's the same craft? I mean, doesn't it look like it's exactly the same? I know it takes a couple minutes for you guys to respond, but I want to see if you guys see the matching tail, the matching stabilizer, the matching wings, this weird dragon type head. Okay, these wings. This one you can even see what looks like landing gear coming down with a wheel. Oh yeah, you guys definitely see it. Okay. And this is a real picture, okay? This is a real cloud. I was taking pictures of a bunch of clouds, and this was in the background, so I zoomed in on it, and sure enough, look, this little thing was way back in, you know, tucked back in the clouds, but it was there watching me taking pictures of it. So, like I said, whoever this advanced race is from the past are now back, okay? They're here now and in the clouds. So when you're looking up at your clouds, it's not exactly what you think you're seeing, okay? There's more going on in your clouds than meets the eye. Alright, so I guess that was our gem for tonight. What was the other part of this video I was going to show? Do you guys want to see the rest of the little models that they made? Because I'm expecting to see some of these other models in the clouds as well. The one with the 4 wings I just showed here. So we'll pick up here, I guess. And we'll watch the rest of this and then we'll close out.
Eye up here and an eye or whatever right here, and this ridge coming over and coming down, these defined swept wings, this weird vertical stabilizer, and the tail. All of those match exactly to this one right here. So now we know that this cloud formation was actually, you know, more than just a cute little airplane in the sky. Okay, here real quick, I don't know how to do a side-by-side image, but I can manage to do it right down here. So here's a quick little side-by-side comparison of the two. Okay, real quick, one good look at this one. And nice defined wings. I mean, this is obviously there. Whoever created this, or whoever these people are that are responsible for these flying machines 1,000 years ago, are now back and here. Okay, so we've seen them coming out of the sun, and now they're here in the skies, cloaked in the clouds. Okay, now as we close up here, I want you guys to go over to this gentleman's channel, Praveen Mohan. He does excellent research, and I think you'd find this video very entertaining. And just let's go real quick through some of the cool ones that he's got. There's this one. There's that one. There's this one. A nice shot of a bird. There's that one again. So I want you to get familiar with all these different models, because I expect to be seeing these in the clouds or coming out of the sun or possibly uncloaking in midair, because this culture, this society, whoever did this, is here now. So, and this model here is the one I believe we saw being pulled out from behind the sun, or exiting the sun, or caught in the electromagnetic field or solar wind of the sun, was this object here. So we've got 2 identified now, and I expect to see more. Excuse me. Weird looking ones with 4 wings. Here the swept back wing. We've experimented with this on certain fighter jets before, so expect to maybe see this one. Here's another different kind. Look at the little ruffled wings, more effect, bigger tail. Okay, and then we'll close up with this one. I like this design. It's got 4 wings, 1 vertical stabilizer. It's got the bigger snout and everything. So there's still a couple other models that I expect maybe we'll see in the clouds or in the sun or next to the sun. So that's it for now. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed these videos. And until my next video, bye.
Alright.
See dirt and water blowing
I was trying to catch it before we got to the ad.
Southwest Gas from a safe location.
How about you leave that alone? Go back to my channel. Alright, we'll close out with the image of this. Alright. Now that you've seen those craft and you've seen the faces.
Over a course of about an hour.
you'll see that this is genuine. This image right here is genuine. It's authentic. It happened on Easter. Okay? It changes into a lion face. It's the real deal. That's why I keep showing you this picture, to give you guys hope, to give you guys a solid foundation, and know your faith needs to be solid as a rock and beyond faith and knowing. So that's why I keep showing this, so you'll know and understand that Jesus is real. He's here. Let's see if we can mute this. That's where I zoomed in on it. Okay, well, let's try going full screen. There we go. All right. So I love you all. God bless y'all. I think Dutch Sense is going live, so you may all want to meet up over there. That's it for tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow with tomorrow's stream. I expect a lot of activity happening tomorrow. So love y'all. Goodbye, and I'll see you over at Dutch. Bye.